Estidian! What? Oh! Oh, that was beautiful. And that transition. On my Final Fantasy cinematic journey, we have finally come. Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail, full trailer. I love the other snippets we got of this trailer. We can finally break down the entire thing. If you've been enjoying our time together, please consider watching some of the other videos we've covered on this channel, including my deep dive into FF7 Rebirth with Sleep Easy. Final Fantasy lore masters, join me in battle once again. Got to meet Yoshi P at the FF16 premiere event in LA, and he actually hung out with me and Aaliyah while we played 16. It was so much fun. So here we go, a new project from Yoshi P. I remember seeing this a little bit in the early snippets, and the setting is so beautiful in this.
And boundless possibilities.
Yeah, there it is. It feels like a new journey, and that's the music, that's the visuals, it's the coloration here.
I dare say our destination will soon be in sight.
Oh, it's awesome.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
Yeah, that's it. It's like a new possibility, enjoying yourself for a change. And ooh, just like that, the music, it becomes adventurous. Not quite sinister, but a little bit adventurous, a little bit, the possibilities deepen. A little mysterious even. Awesome. Oh, look at that, look at the environments. It's just like makes you want to be able to explore it. Estidian! Yes! And there's that huge creature. Yeah, I remember this part. That was really good. Muted sound design there.
This one might make for a worthy opponent.
He's so awesome, man. Let's see how his choreography looks this time. What? Oh, that shot was amazing. We pull back. Oh, that was so good. We go from extreme close up to massive scale. That was so good. Wow, actually incredible. Yeah, that was amazing. And okay, we're seeing kind of the layout, the blocking of all these environments. Okay, he's up here in this temple fighting right now. It's awesome. Oh man, the sort of physicality, you could feel that hit. Oh, that was beautiful. And that transition is just god tier. Amazing. So good. It's motivating the camera movement with the flickering ember that falls down into the fruit. So awesome. To keep the lightheartedness of the entire thing. And then we're back to the fight. And here we go, the reveal of the new class. Oh, that was amazing. The sound too. Whoa, gives you chills. Beautiful. And look at this guy. Who in the world is that? Who is that, guys? I love the cast here. Look at the different types of people. That's so funny. He's like trying to... And they're like, nah, I'm good. Who is this squirrel? Glorian's having a nice drink. Meanwhile, his buddy's fighting to the death. I love the that music. Oh, that's fresh. And we have the weapon switch. Oh, it's very Final Fantasy 3. Eternal Wind. Oh, that was beautiful music. Yeah, I absolutely adore that. And oh, it's the guy. Yes. Graha. Who is that? And this is, of course, the new class, isn't it? So it's like Realm from Final Fantasy VI, right? Realm from Final Fantasy VI. That's awesome. And we have another singer on the song from Soken. Fantastic. Yeah, Soken never disappoints. Awesome. Wow, this shot is just pulling. And so yeah, I think it is like Realm from FF6, like creating a creature who's now in the world. Look at all the butterflies and stuff. And this is awesome because environmentally it's teasing how much you're gonna be able to see. Yeah, this creature is just on its own journey now. I love this shot. Yeah, very Pirates of the Caribbean feel here. Oh,
Behold the scene of our next great adventure.
fantastic.
You and your adventures. I trust you have not forgotten the true purpose of our voyage.
I love it. Great characters here too. It's kind of like,
We have come to the land you call the New World.
wait,
My home.
that's a
Put out.
wait, that's a new class. That's a new race. That's a female. What do you call it? Remind me, Lore Masters. Oh, and there's the reveal. Yeah, I love that shot. It's actually funny because his sword was CG'd out in the original one to hide the new class reveal. And there it is. Dawntrail. Amazing. Yeah, so good. There's a lot to talk about here. We're gonna go and break that down in detail. I mean, obviously the standouts of the transitions are incredibly done, like really, really good. Let's look at those in detail. We look at some of them before, and then I want to see the new choreography for the class. Remind me, Lore Masters too. It's escaping me. The new class. It's like Swashbuckler or something like that. Really, really cool. And then that Realm, Final Fantasy VI kind of homage with that new class, which is great. Who doesn't like Final Fantasy VI? If you don't, go play the Pixel Remaster. But so we're going to break it down in detail. If you've been enjoying our time together, like I said, make sure to subscribe. Hop into our Discord. We have a teaming Discord with Final Fantasy section. It's going to be popping because I plan on playing Final Fantasy 14 when this comes out. So much later in the year, it's going to be around summer. When that graphics update drops, probably going to pop into the game. So if you want to play with me and my girlfriend, we're probably going to be popping. So hop in Discord if you want to be a part of that. Also, click that join button if you want to choose videos for me to react to. All right, let's get it. And that's funny because there's a Dragoon tier on my membership, still just like Estinian here, where you can choose the videos. So.
Might make for a worthy opponent.
All right, so I want to talk about it. Like I said, there's so much sort of what I like about this. There's a joy. And Endwalker, which is I think one of the coolest of the CG trailers. And Endwalker, there's this kind of feeling of like finality and feeling of desperation, and it's quite serious, and the stakes are very high. This has a feeling of setting out on a new adventure. And even though there's a great battle going on in this is a great duel, we kind of come back to the joyful feeling and sort of imagery. And well, I'll talk about that as we go through it. But I love the opening. It's just so it's so fun. And he even says, literally, they're setting this up as the kind of feeling of the entire thing right here. Enjoying yourself for a change. Like, hey, this is going to be something new. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of seriousness in this story. But it's the start of a new journey, kind of like when Final Fantasy XIV launched. You know, the trailers and the visuals are just kind of this like, we're riding chocobos in a new place. It's kind of drawing you into adventure. And remember, it's an MMO, so you want to get in there. You want to be able to explore the world. And to have an entirely new place to explore is, you know, an awesome idea, especially to old-time players, long-time veterans, you know. But yeah, great shot here. And it's kind of like, what is he feeling? And you get this smirk, which is really nice. What I like here is the sort of adventurous feeling that leads into insane environmental shots. Just look at this area, like waterfalls everywhere. It almost looks like Mount Colts from FF6 too, which is another cool relation here. And it seems like he's on like kind of a hunting party with these guys, maybe? Estinian?
Come now. There's no cause for panic.
Nice shot there. This was a nice sort of like kind of, you know, you can't really call it a character reveal, but I guess it is in the sense of this short piece. You know, sort of for the fans, you hear his voice first, you see his lance, and then we come, it's like, Estinian. I mean, I literally popped off when I saw him in this case too. He's just such a cool character. He's got a great voice, a great personality, and in this case, we can see his awesome fighting style as well. And I was actually a Dragoon in Final Fantasy XIV, and I remember doing his quest line up in the snowy area. Who remembers what that was called? But there was this really cool kind of like jagged rocks we were meeting on and stuff when I first saw Estinian. So yeah, it's kind of cool. We set up the threat of this creature by having those guys get washed away. Yeah. And look at the sort of power level difference. He's just like, I'm wet. Inconvenient. The other guys are like washed away and all messed up. So there's a kind of visual storytelling to show just how strong he is, which I like. I mean, if you're fighting, you know, sort of Endwalker, kind of like end game level world destroyer type enemies, you know, whatever, you're on a fun hunting expedition, you come across as like an oversized Godzilla looking crocodile, it's probably not as strong as those enemies, right? So that's such a cool alliance, man. But yeah, I love that you see this sort of coloration activate, which, you know, even to the person who doesn't know Final Fantasy XIV, you see this sort of like magical ability of the jump activate. And then he goes super high. Like, and this is where the shots go absolutely ridiculous. This is a shot that is used kind of a lot in Final Fantasy history. It's a shot that has been used in kind of Versus 13 by Nomura in the direction of his trailers. And we've since kind of, Yoshi P has been kind of doing homages to that with his own twist on it. In Final Fantasy 16, we have the awesome Dragoon shot when you fight him from Sambrek. And then we have this glorious shot. It's just like the way they do it. It's almost feeling, what's the word? Disorienting. He's so high. And I love that he's just a speck on the screen. It's incredible. And look at this. Almost disoriented. Like, what's he doing? He's spinning. Is he falling? And then we get this just deft, extreme close-up right into his eye. And what it does is just shows like the momentum. He's crashing down at extreme velocity, but it's, you know, it's targeted, it's controlled. And then when we pull out to here, it's just awesome. And you get this insane shot. It's just so exciting. It feels like something out of Advent Children. You know, clouds flying up to the air or something, like just that larger than life Final Fantasy feeling that we love so much in the combat. And it's funny because I say Advent Children definitely has similar visuals, but Advent Children really like created and then this fighting style of choreography and filmmaking and everything that like everything copied after. And it's so cool to kind of see that legacy here in Final Fantasy again. Check this out, and let's watch it in one go. Oh, it's just too good. It's too good. And then another amazing transition, and even the sound design there. You know, we go inside his mouth, and then it's actually this creature being cooked up. Insane. And again, he's with these guys like on the expedition. Everybody's celebrating his victory. Yeah, and I love, again, these sort of environmental hints that we get. He's up in this sort of temple. And then we use this kind of flare as a transition. Really clever. I love the reveal of this creature here. You just hear the strike. He rolls at the screen. And from the darkness emerges this foe. Massive creature. Awesome, kind of like Mesoamerican aesthetic here. And it's just this hit. Man, the way they did that was awesome, because it's kind of like an incorrect from a martial arts standpoint. It's really cool because it's kind of like the way they filmed it is very disorienting here. This time on it for a different purpose. You can see this creature. You can see the creature kind of like fakes him out and spins around and like changes his guard. So then the character has to go and kind of like just defend himself with the sword, like at the last second, in a very, you know, kind of like compromised guard position from a sword fighting standpoint. And it's just like he's totally unbalanced. It sends him flying and he crashes into this. And it's just like, whoa, really, really cool. I love that they're not just like always, you know, like perfect beings of you know, absolute you know, martial proficiency and everything. It's really cool to see, like, oh, he kind of made a mistake there. But that's, you know, classically in these trailers, kind of since like the Shadowbringers trailer has been when he's like, all right, I'm going to switch jobs, which is so fun. But what I love here is this is incredibly clever. We have, of course, for me, this is a reference to Berserk, right? You can see right here. This is a reference to Berserk. The Heckhound in Berserk. I mean, look, it looks like an eye. And he looks crazed because he's enjoying it. He's enjoying the fight against this, like, incredibly dangerous enemy. His cloak is burning up, and it looks like a crazed eye of a wild animal. And then the ember falls down and becomes the like, come on, it's just glorious transitions all throughout the trailer. Let's watch it one more time. A little bit of control here. So it goes down, falls, holds its position in the composition, and then it falls out of the frame. And it's almost like, you know, in Mario in the old days where you would, you know, you'd cross this edge of the screen, then you'd come back down, you know? So it's like an endless, like, connected thing. So it'd be like this. So it's kind of like that feeling. But, you know, the movement that your eyes is following feels very consistent. So you're like, oh, and it just feels so good to watch. Very easy on the eyes. Watch this. And I like the music cuts there too. So you just hear the huh, huh, and then the music comes back. It just keeps the fun. It keeps the joyfulness of it. Just throwing you a piece of fruit. This shot is really cool too, sort of environmentally. It's very Final Fantasy XII. There's a similar shot used almost exactly the same with Vaan in Final Fantasy XII in Rabanasta. Kind of like walks and you see the city like this. And again, loving the aesthetic of everything, the variety of NPCs. Awesome. And there's just like a liveliness to the town that is, it's kind of hard to do in fantasy, but there's food, there's drink, there's culture. Very well done. And of course, we go back to this fight, and our character has finally, well, it's not that he changed jobs. It's like he's kind of taken off his cloak and is ready to fight with both swords. It's just so awesome the way they do this. You know, it's so visceral. And that's why I like, they keep these, you know, still very martially grounded, even though they're doing like kind of larger than life feats like the jump from Astinian. You know, there's this feeling where he jumps and you can like feel the momentum, uses that step, draws the other sword, and it's just like, gravity of it you can feel. Let's watch this. Ready? Look at that reveal. Through the fire. Woo! Awesome. You know, and again, I want to watch it. And it's interesting he's using the weapon like that. I want to watch it, you know, let's see what he does with the cuts here. I want to see like how realistic this is, but it's definitely not far-fetched. I mean, look, so he draws the other sword, drags it across the ground, cuts his leg right there, cuts his hand, kind of compromising him there, and then turns both of the swords across and hits him again with the back sword. Glorious. But yeah, they just kind of, you know, juice it up a little bit with the blue lines. So it's not at all like an impossible move to pull off. I love it. Whew. Sound design. Oh my god. Awesome. Yeah. That was awesome. And there's Ishtola. And this little squirrel. Love that shot too, through the floorboard. It's very clever. Right. It's kind of like, it's really nice that we can kind of figure out from the blocking where everybody is in this scene. It's okay, he's up in the temple fighting the guy with the two swords. Ishtola's down here looking at relics, or kind of like gathering information. Thancred's out here trying to talk to folks on the street, you know.
Might you have a moment to speak further?
I like that everybody has like their kind of class that they stick with now too, or their job that they stick with now too. It's very cool. Sort of like consistent. And this, who is this squirrel? So funny. This is probably the funniest part of the trailer. He's just like chilling. You know, everybody's doing something and he's like, yeah, I'm just having a drink. And then we go back. And look at this fight, man. Beautiful shot. Let's go back and look at this from the first. I think it might actually be one shot. It's tough, and they might kind of cheat it at times, but let's see. So we come in. Whew, and he comes in with this beautiful double cut, but the camera movement here. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look what happens. Beautifully crests across the screen, like across the frame. And we pull back, so we have the reverse over the shoulder. And it's like, man, in one shot, we go and pull the camera across. That's a powerful feeling. And it achieves a sense of momentum and adds to his slices with that camera movement. Now, are we in the same shot here? Maybe. No cut yet. Yeah, no cut. We have a oneer here that's really cool for that reason. And he turns, and I love that what we've chosen to do here from the director is very clever, is from this shot, it's like, we're from the creature's perspective now. It's like, I didn't hit him. Where did he go? We can't see the other character. So then watch what happens. He turns when he sees him, and then it's like, oh, there he is, but then he's out of the frame. He's jumping over his attack. Awesome. Just like very nimble. And then we circle back around again, and we come under the... it's so good. It's so good. Watch this. And then he kicks. That's an amazing shot. I think a lot of people might miss that. That's a oneer. Watch this. Let's watch it all as one and just appreciate it. It almost looks like it cuts, but it doesn't. Whew. Incredible. I think we go 3 or 4 times back and forth. Very, very hard shot to pull off from an action scene perspective, but I mean, absolutely nailed it. Yeah, lovely work. And the music here is just, it's so adventurous. Beautiful. What does it almost sound like? It almost sounds like Final Fantasy III Name of the Wind, but of course it's not. It's just beautiful. It's a new song from Soken. Oh, you know what it sounds like? It almost sounds like Away from 16. It's of course from Soken himself. Listen. It almost sounds like that. All right. That's what it sounds. This reminded me of something. I'm like, woo! That was a cool choice. It's like, oh, we're gonna see the clash, but we don't. We actually go through them. Up into the sky. Amazing. How do you say his name? Is it Grahasha? Grahasha? Having a taco? That's such a fun shot. I'm not familiar with this character. Is this a new character? Keep in mind I haven't played Endwalker, so I'm going to miss some stuff. And then everybody's like enjoying the perform. I like that little aspect of it. There's this little bow that takes place, and you have these people kind of like, wow, that's crazy. It's fun. Yeah, and they chose to do that shot to kind of showcase what's happening here and kind of bringing this creature to life. Kind of scary if you think about it. But again, kind of emphasizing the levity of this expansion in general. And it's awesome because we get a full tour of the city here, which is no doubt going to be one of the central hubs of this expansion, if not the central hub. And then we go as far as to kind of like transition off screen. Then we get like a time lapse. The sun comes up. I don't know if that's going to be an ability, but really cool to see. But this is cool because it's like, whoa, there's a massive area over there to explore. And the camera's like, stay tuned for that. You know, we'll come back to that later. But for now, let's go this way and go back to the ship. And the journey continues, yeah. There's a little subtlety there. You can see the moisture on the camera as it comes up.
There. Look, my friends. Behold the scene of our next great adventure.
It's awesome because, you know, he's obviously talking to you, the player, and it's just like, again, talking about Endwalker, even the trailer itself and the vibe is just like, okay, this is the end. You know, this is it. This is all we've come to this point from like tons and hours of adventuring. Now this is a new beginning. It's so awesome to see.
You and your adventures. I trust you have not forgotten the true purpose of our voyage.
Really like the voice acting here too, by the way. It's something I haven't called out yet in this video. I really like this character's voice. It's kind of unexpected, and I like that we see a character who, like, you know, he's got big ears and stuff. His voice, you know, could probably like be assumed by some to be kind of like this more bubbly and happy thing, but it's like this really deep voice. I think that's a fun twist. So yeah, Lore Masters, what's the deal here? Is this a female Hrothgar? Is that what's happening here?
You call the new world. My home. Put out.
That was a really cool shot too. I like this. Kind of like showing off the equipment a little bit, you know? And again, it's this suspense of what he's thinking. What is he feeling on this new adventure? He's been through so much. He's lost much. What's he feeling nowadays? And then we finally get this reveal. And, you know, he looks like we said before, I think it was Aaliyah that actually first said this. It's like, he looks like Will Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean. You know, he's got this like kind of swashbuckly look. But he's, you know, he's happy. He's got a smirk on his face. Happy to start anew. What a shot to end with too. And I mean, like, that's the logo too of the of Dawntrail. It's literally the city with the temple he was fighting in and everything. And you know, it's not just the visual of the cool city. Visually, the logo is, oh, you know, it's a new adventure. It's a new horizon to explore. And I think it's just so fun. And I'm sure it'll mean more to you after you play it. But fantastic. You even have the water here and the color of the water kind of cresting onto the shorelines over there. Just fantastic work from Yoshi P, from Soken, from everyone on the team. I'm curious, does anyone know if this is the same writer? Her name has just escaped me. Somebody remind me in the comments. The same writer who did Endwalker. Or is this going to be a new team working on the scenario for this? But really, really excited to see what the Final Fantasy XIV community is going to be exploring here. Like I said, I'll be joining you guys a little bit later in the year. We've got Warcraft coming before that, and tons of other adventures, and of course, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's my thing, man. That's my thing. I love 14, but whoa, FF7 Rebirth is my favorite. Along with FF10, but you know, hopefully we'll get a remake of that one day too. But anyways, you guys are the best. Like I said, hop in the Discord. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. If you want to catch our live streams, we have a lot of fun exploring. We're currently working through World of Warcraft cinematics, and hopefully as Dawntrail comes out, we'll get some more content to cover as well. But you guys are the best. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you around town.